Okay, so we're going to be discussing like combining like terms and distribution, and then we're going to actually put them together. So first here you see I have an apple, uh, and I add another apple. Well, what is one apple plus one apple? I have two apples. If I were to abbreviate apples with A, then it would be A plus A equals 2A. So that's what like terms are. Like terms is combining things that are alike. Well, what happens when we try to combine things that are not alike? So if I had an apple and I add a banana, then I will have an apple plus a banana. I can't put them together. I can't put them together, and I just put them next to each other. So that's the same as A plus B, right? A plus B. Can't go any further. Can't put them together. So it has to be the same letter for us to put them together. They're like terms. And if it doesn't have any letters, that's also like terms. So if I had 3 plus 4, that's 7. Okay. But you already knew that. So if I had 3 plus 3a, then they're not like terms because this doesn't have any letters next to it, and this does. Okay. Can't put them together. I can only put them next to each other. Um, the other thing that you have to look out for is even though something may have the same letter, we have to um, we have to also make sure that it has the same exponents. So if I had 3a squared plus 4a, I can't add them together because this is a squared a and this is not squared. So I just can only put them next to each other. But if I had like terms, what doesn't count is coefficients. So if I had 5a plus 3a, these coefficients or these numbers in front of a letter, that's what they're called, coefficients, numbers in front of a letter, that doesn't matter because it's like saying, hey, I got 5 apples and I'm adding 3 apples. That gives me a total of 8 apples. Okay. So that's combining like terms. So we're going to actually go ahead and do some problems here, combine like terms. I got negative 4x plus 5x. That is a total of x. Okay, 1x. You don't have to write 1x. I have here two different like terms. So I got n's, and then I have my numbers, my constants. The reason why they're called constants because those numbers never change. Okay. Once you attach a number next to a letter, for example, 3 right here, this 3 is attached to a letter. Um, since the letter can change, the number changes along with it. But when you don't have a number next to a letter, it's a constant. It doesn't change. So 4n plus 3n is 7n. 4 plus 1 is 5. Let's go to our next one. We have negative 7, and we have negative 2x. So negative 2x minus 7x. Negative 2x minus 7x is negative 9x. And then I have negative 8 plus 2. That is negative 6. Okay. if I have on our next one, we have negative 8x minus 10x, right? That's actually the only things in there. So that's negative 18x. Keep in mind, we're not multiplying these numbers. We're adding and subtracting these numbers. So don't fall into the negative times negative gives me positive. Don't fall into that. That only applies when we're multiplying these numbers. Okay? 2k minus k, that is k. 1k, but we don't write 1k. We just leave it as k. 9n plus 3n is 12n. Okay, so that's combining like terms. You can go ahead and look at these on the right hand side. That is also good for practice. And let's go ahead and talk about the distribution property, distributive property. Okay, so how does this distribution works? Well, if you remember, or if you have seen this A to help us remember the order of operations called GEMDOS, it may have also been used, or its alternative form is PEMDOS. It's the order of operations. So if you had 4 plus 2 plus, or 1 plus 3, the order of operations was said, hey, we're going to deal with what's inside the parentheses first, then 4 multiplies whatever is inside it. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay. Well, the distribution property is established because when we do it, it gives us the same answer each and every time. So when you distribute, instead of multiplying the 4 to the 1 plus 3 after it comes out, you can actually multiply it before you put those numbers together. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 4 plus 12 is 16. So you notice that this is the exact same answer, and distribution property says that you will get the same answer each and every time. So that allows us to do this in math. And it's especially important when you have a letter such as X. So I can't put this together. We have discussed that. These are unlike terms. So distribution property allows us to move forward. So 4 times x, 4x, 4 times 3, 12. Okay, and that is the finished product. So let's go ahead and do some of these practice problems here. Okay, so I'm gonna X that out. Okay, so 3 times, whoops, 3 times negative 7, negative 21. 3 times negative 8n is negative 24n. And we're finished. Okay. I just gonna white these out until we get to them so that we can just focus on number 15 at this time. So 8 times r is 8r. 8 times 1 is 8. Okay. 2 times 6n is, I would write it underneath it, just a little in space there, is 12n. And whoops, before I put that minus sign, 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Negative 5 times 8v is negative 40v. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. Negative times 3a is negative 3a. Negative times negative 3 is positive 3. Negative times 5, negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. Negative 8 times negative 3 is plus 24v. So negative, so once I distribute, that's what comes out. So we did combine like terms and we did distribution. So the distribution problems are over here. You can practice those. You can practice those. And then it says, now we're going to combine both skills into one problem. So we're going to be distributing here, right? And then we're going to combine like terms. So just write this out for right now. But we first distribute before we combine like terms. So when we distribute though, remember that this right here is in front. So we're going to drop that first. 4 times n is 4n. 4 times 1 is 4. Now I got some like terms. All right, so negative n plus 4n is 3n plus 4. All right. So negative 2 times negative 3k is 6k. Negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8. Now, we didn't touch this minus 7 here, so we're just going to drop it. Okay. Now we got like terms. We got negative 7 and we got negative 8, right? So negative 8 minus 7 is negative 15. Let's go ahead and move forward on this one right here. Negative 4. We're going to drop that because it's in front. So now 6 times negative 4x, negative 24x. 6 times positive 3, 18. This is right here. This right here. Whoops. The like terms, negative 4 plus 18. We're going to drop the 24x right here. And then plus 14. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to our next one there. Okay. All right. So we're going to drop the negative 2. This right here may be a little bit too much information. We're going to drop the negative 2. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 3r is 15r. We have our like terms. Negative 2 plus 20 is 18. 15 plus 15r. Okay, and then we got one more problem here. Okay, this is a little confusing. So we have, remember when you're distributing, anything that's in front of the parentheses is what you multiply. So I'm going to distribute this negative to both in there, right? So negative times negative n is n, right? Negative times 2 is negative 2. And then I didn't touch this right here, so I'm going to drop it. But now I have like terms, right? I have this negative 2n, and I have this n. So it's negative 3n. No, excuse me. Wait. It's negative n. Okay, so I have a positive 1n, and then I subtract 2n. I'm left with negative n minus 2. In algebra, usually the letters come in front. So you might, if you wrote it like that, it's not wrong, but preferably you're going to see it like that. Okay. So there is also some problems on the right hand side where you can practice, and hopefully that could give enough to feel confident when solving problems that have distribution and combining like terms. All right, till next time.